Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. It is the 17th of June, 2021. Happy Thursday. I want to take a look at MATIC or Polygon here. If you really had to describe or find a word that represents the chart, it is one of strength. It has really outperformed the majority of the market over the past year and a half or so, maybe longer. But there is one level here that I think you should pay attention to, and that is where there's a Kumo twist, which is when single span A crosses single span B. Kumo twists are kind of, David Linton pointed it out in his book, saying it's really the first sign of a trend change. From a trading perspective, from a trend perspective, sure, but from a trading perspective, what I've noticed about them is when you see a Kumo twist, and you always know when it's happening because you get 26 periods ahead of time, I have learned that when an instrument is trading in a prolonged trend or in a very strong trend, a very fast move up or down, and then you encounter the Kumo twist, it is often an area where you see the beginning of a corrective move or a trend change. I think it's dangerous to bet on a trend change, but certainly one could look at a corrective move being the more likely scenario, and that's what I see playing out here. But all in all, it looks really strong. So, I mean, the weekly open is at 146.81. And the weekly close currently is at 148.11. So it's not much. It hasn't moved much. Open to close in the week so far, and we've got another 3-4 days left. Take a look at the 3-day chart. Same story. There's a sign that we could see some bullish momentum here, but it's also setting up nicely for some bearish divergence, but we'll look into that. But the daily chart, I think, is the one we should pay attention to here. And that's what I've got pulled up right here. So it's stuck is the best word for it. When you look at the Ichimoku system and you take a look at all of the indicators that make it up, the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen, single span A and single span B, all four of those are really close together, and price is right on top of it too. So there's just a huge, big, congestion block here where it's having difficulty finding direction, which is fine. In fact, consolidation like this after a big move like we've had, that's a sign of strength. That's not a sign of weakness. And by Saturday, so by the 19th, if nothing else changes with this price right now, Polygon's going to be positioned to fulfill a lot of Ichimoku strategies, whether they're short-term or long-term Ichimoku strategies. On the daily chart, it's going to be very easy for price to move into a condition to trigger a sell-off or a breakout higher. On the long side of the market by Saturday, it'll need to be trading around 220-ish. Need to be trading above. We need to get the lagging span above the candlesticks, and that needs to stay above the candlesticks. And then on the bearish side, we need to get a close below the Tenkan-sen around that 138 to 140 level is what we would need to see to be on the bearish side of it, and the lagging span needs to trade below the candlesticks. So for today, the remainder of the day, and then into Friday, that means it needs to close, the Polygon needs to close below 105. Really don't see that happening. It could. You get the rest of the market selling off, it'll follow suit. But otherwise, this is a hurry up and wait game here. And when you look at the daily, when you look at the daily indicators, the percent B is in neutral condition, the composite index is floating into neutral position, and the RSI is sitting in neutral position. It's sitting almost right on 50. It's at 49.03. If you were to put Bollinger Bands on here, you would see a squeeze. You'd see a Bollinger squeeze, which is exactly what we've got. So watch very closely what happens with the breakout, because the breakout may last for a candle or 2 or 3, but then it'll come down to retrace. And the retrace and the retest of the breakout is going to be the key thing, because that's going to tell us if the breakout was fake or if it was real. So watch out what's happening. I mean, not a lot of cryptocurrencies right now have a chart like Polygon's. It's very, very, very constricted, and it's poised for a big move here in the future. From all of us here at Exchange Rates UK TV, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.